Hello, welcome to my channel and thank you for tuning into this video. Today I'm doing a blue Christmas lights video. So this is an eye look that I've sort of based on inspiration from blue Christmas lights. I love colored Christmas lights and colored glass, and the blue lights always catch my eye. I think they're such a nice complement to the traditional red and green Christmas colors. And just a little bit different, and I love the vibrancy of them. So if you'd like to see how I created this whole look, just keep on watching. So I'm quite excited for this look. I've been kind of thinking about it and looking forward to doing it for a few weeks now. For this, I'm going to rely mainly on my Pat McGrath palette. So this one, which is the Mothership 1, focusing on this shade, and I will use these two shades a little bit as well. And I'm also going to use this Blitz Astral Quad, the one in Nocturnal Nirvana. And I'm going to use this shade mainly. I might dip into this one a little bit as well, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. So I did actually try to create this look yesterday, and I wasn't happy with how it turned out because the shapes were very uneven on my eyes. So this is attempt number 2, so I'm hoping this will go a little bit better. I've thought about it a little bit and going to change my technique up a little bit, and hopefully that will help me to be a bit more successful. Now, starting out, I do have makeup on already, obviously. It's the makeup that I applied in my Sonia G. Kiyaki brush set video, so that one's already up on my channel. So if you're interested in those brushes and on seeing the makeup application process up to this point, you can watch that video. I'll link it below as well. So I do have a bit of bronzer already in my crease, and I think that's actually a good little base to start from for this look. It's not going to have a huge presence with the bronzer there, but it just adds a little bit of warmth to this obviously quite cool toned blue look that I'm creating today. To start out, I'm going to go right into this deep blue shade here, and I just want to look up the name of that. What is that? Blitz Blue. So Blitz Blue is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to use this little Sonia G brush, the flat definer, and I'm going to spray it with some Fix Plus. And so the main color of this look is obviously going to be this Blitz Blue, but I want to start out getting my shape right first. So I'm just going to draw the shape that I think I want here, sort of the outline of it. Okay, so I have my basic shape. I'm actually going to go in with this Refer 21 brush and see if it's a little bit stiffer. So I think that might help me a little bit here. I'm actually going to take this brush here, which is a Sigma Eyeliner EO5, and see if that will help me to get a sort of crisper edge there with the shape. Yeah, that's working better. I'm feeling like I have a bit more control using this little brush here. Okay, so that's my basic shape. I'm going to try to do the same on the other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm relatively satisfied with those shapes. So now I'm going to go in with the Refer 21 and wet that a little bit also with the Fix Plus, and back into the Blitz Blue to fill in that whole shape and cover the lid with that color. So I've covered the lid. I'm going back with this little eyeliner brush to finish out the shape coming up here. because I want it to be a little bit of a winged shape. There goes Xander back to his comfy spot on the couch. Okay, back with the 21 just to really get that color saturated all over. And you might be able to see I've left a little bit of space right at the corner there, just to lift the eye even more with that sort of wing shape. And I've left a little bit of space in the inner corner as well. I don't know if that will end up lasting. It'll kind of depend on how things go with this other eye and how much I have to adjust in order to match their shapes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the other eye, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just did some work doing this eye and then trying to make them even. I know they're not perfectly even, but I think this is about as good as it's going to get for now. So I'm just wiping off my 21 brush again. And next up, I want to go in with this color here, which I think is called Blitz Aquamarine. Let me just check. Yeah, Blitz Aquamarine. And once my brush is wiped off, I'm going back in again with the Fix Plus on that brush. And something I noticed when I was doing the darker blue is that you don't want your brush to be too wet to get that great color payoff and to make it almost like a paint. If it's too wet, it dilutes the color too much, and then it doesn't really, you have to end up having to go over it again and again to get the pigmentation that you want. So just going in with the Blitz Aquamarine, and I'm going to focus that more on the inner half and then sort of pull it out just a little bit. So this one is acting almost as a little bit of a topper. I don't want this color to completely take over this part of the eye. I just want it to add that nice dimension and sort of variation in tones that you would see in a real sort of blue Christmas light, where you've got the light reflecting on different parts of it, and different parts are going to be deeper in tone because they're further away from the filament. And the part that's closer to the filament, which I'm going to make the inner part of the eye, is a little bit lighter and brighter. So just patting that really gently on there. And I'll do the same with the other eye. And my brush is not as damp for this as I used with the darker blue. Again, because I don't want it to be too richly pigmented, but I do want it to have that sort of extra shine as well as the ability to stick on a bit better. And I've got shadow on my nose. Again, I did that with the deeper blue too. So when that happens, just take your foundation or concealer brush and kind of pat it out a little bit. And that should take care of it. I am getting a little bit of fallout under my eyes. I'll just leave that for now, and I'll kind of deal with that later using some loose powder. Okay, I think that's good for the aquamarine color. So wiping off my brush again, and actually I'm not going to use that brush right now. I'm going to go back into this flat definer. And I'm going to take this shade here, this kind of yellowy gold. And I really want to make sure that my brush is cleaned off because it had that dark color on it, so I don't want those to mix at all. And again, I'm going to wet this brush, or dampen it, I should say. And into that yellow gold, which what's that color called? Pale Gold 002. And that's going on the inner corner. And I'm pulling it down a little bit onto the lower lash line as well. And a little bit up into the upper corner too. Okay, do the same on the other eye. I'm just noticing a little gap in the dark blue, so I'm going to try to remedy that. It doesn't go down as far on this eye as it does on the other one. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm just going to leave it there. All right, that's good for the pale gold. I'm going to hang on to that brush because I might need to touch it up a little bit later. So I already do have some bronzer on my lower lash line, but I think I would like to just use a little bit of this taupe color just to blend things out a little bit more and sort of make a bit more of a seamless look. And I'm pulling it up along the edge of that wingy shape up above too. I might end up putting concealer over that, but I'll just kind of see how it looks. I think I will. I'm gonna put concealer along the edge and clean that up right up on the top wing. And then I have a plan for what I want to do with that. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I did use a bit of concealer to clean up the edges there. And then I took that little liner brush again and I went into this color here, this, what's that called? Blitz Purple. And I took the liner brush and I just defined the edges of the shape a little bit with that. And it wasn't a wet brush or a damp brush, it was just dry. I just wanted a light little effect from that, but I think it was effective in just defining that shape and crispening up the edges a little bit more and adding a bit more dimension to the look. I also took a little bit more of the Blitz Aquamarine on my finger, just sort of in the center part, just to intensify that color a little bit. And we're coming into the home stretch with the eyes here. So next I want to use this color here, which is called Astral White. This I think is a perfect color to top everything off on the lid because it does have that blue shift to it. So I think it's really perfect. So again, focusing this mainly on the center of the lid, just tapping that on with my finger. And the excess I'm just sort of really lightly patting out toward the edge there. Okay, and the last sort of eyeshadow product that I want to use is this Victoria Beckham Lid Luster in the shade Blonde. And I want to do a little topper on the inner corner with this because it also has a shift to it. It has a sort of yellow gold shift, which I think is perfect to mimic that look of sort of the filament in the light bulb. So I'm going to try that with this little pencil brush. We'll see. I don't find these lid lusters work best with brushes. I find they're better with fingers, but it's hard for me to get a good application with my finger on that inner corner. So I am going to dampen the brush again. I'm really trying to get a lot of this pigment on the brush, but then also kind of tapping down so that I hopefully won't get too much fallout with it. That seems to be working really well. You can see how bright that is on the inner corner now. Back in with that taupe shade just to blend everything in. Okay, I'm going to put mascara on and I'm going to use some loose powder to try to get rid of some of this fallout, and I'll be right back. Okay, I cleaned up there. I ended up having to use a little cotton pad. There was so much fallout, and then I just reapplied a little bit of concealer and loose powder on top of that. I want to go in, I do already have blush on, as you can tell. I just want to top it up again with this same shade, which is the Tom Ford Incandescent, and just bring it up a little bit higher. I like this color for this look. Well, I like the way it works with the blues. I also like the sheen that this blush has, and I like the tone because it gives me a bit of those sort of out in the cold vibes, which I think are nice for this sort of Christmassy, wintry themed makeup look. So I'm just going to focus a little bit more right there, right high on the apples of the cheeks. And blend out and all over the face like I always do. Okay, and this color is also going to go well with my lip color, which I'll show you in a moment. I just want to do a little bit of highlighter first. So this is kind of an over-the-top look. So I want to use this Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face. This is the palest shade that they have of this. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it has a blue shift to it. So I think that's just going to be perfect for this look, not only because of the blue shift, but also because of that glassy effect, which of course goes with the idea of the light bulb, the Christmas light bulb. So I'll just put a little bit on my eyebrow as well. I normally don't wear this shade of highlighter by itself. I actually have another shade of the same product that I like to mix it with. It's the Prism Rose shade, which is a sort of rose goldy shade. And I do that because sort of my everyday life, I don't want to have blue highlight on my face, but it's perfect for this situation. Okay, so face is done, and last up is to finish off with the lips. So I already have a bit of lip liner on, which is the Victoria Beckham 02 lip definer, and I'm going to use my Lisa Eldridge Velvet Muse as my lip color. This is just such an easy color to wear. Nice neutral color that can go with a lot of things, but can also really liven up the complexion. I think it's sort of deep enough in tone that it adds that bit of life and vibrancy to the face. So this is it. This is the blue Christmas lights look. All right, I just realized that I somehow got concealer on there, so it was really messing up the look. But anyway, I don't know when that happened, but I fixed it. So this is the finished look. It was a lot of fun to do. It was quite challenging for me. I don't usually do these types of graphic shapes, and even working with these deep colors presents quite a bit of a challenge for me, but it was really fun to do, and I really was inspired. I really am happy that I got to do this look. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below. I would love to see them. And if you'd like to see more from me, I would love for you to subscribe. Mainly my channel at this point is me doing sort of creative looks, so looks inspired by certain things, just like this one with the Christmas lights. I'm doing a series of lipstick color based looks. So I've got one on Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Dragon, and I've also got one on her Velvet Carnival. So that's where I do a whole makeup look sort of based around the idea and the color of one particular lipstick. So I'm planning to do a lot more of those. And I also like to demo and review new products. So those are the sort of main types of videos that I'm doing these days. So if you'd like to see more of those and more from me, it would be great if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.